Welcome back, digital watch fans, to Vintage Digital Watches and to this repair video. So I always want to do a buy and fix video for a watch with missing segments. So I finally got around to doing a search on eBay for a couple of watches, and right now we are going to choose which one we are going to buy and then try to fix the missing segments. I don't know why it has missing segments, so there will be a process that you will see of fault finding and eventually fixing. So let's see what are our options. Okay, so option number one is this Casio Throne 53 CGS-18. It's $20, so which is 15 pounds, and they're asking 6 pounds for shipping. And as you can see, it does have a couple of missing segments here, but overall the watch isn't that bad. The back has some discoloration and some peeling of the gold plating. Price is 20 US, not that cheap for something with broken segments, but it's something we can live with. The seller is 100% positive. He's from Greece, and I've actually bought before from the seller, so I'm okay with this. The other option is this Ricoh quartz watch. Now this, I know this is a big and chunky watch, and as you can see, it has a missing segment. The price is quite a bit high, but I have the option to make an offer. Shipping 8 pounds, which is fairly close to the other one. What do they say? Very lovely Ricoh watch. I second that, yes, that's true. Partially working, some missing digits. Sometimes the top pushes himself. Don't know what he means, but probably that pusher right there has an intermittent contact that is easily pushed when not even handling the watch. So I'm more partial to the Ricoh because they are more rare, and right now I'm kind of loving this brand. I have a few coming in. Because I want the Ricoh more, I will put in an offer for 35 euros to get the price closer. If he accepts, then we'll buy this one. If not, we'll see if we can get this one. So I'll do make an offer, 35, and submit. Fingers crossed, and I'll see you when we have an answer from the seller. So here we are a few hours later, and the seller for the Ricoh watch did accept my offer, but I wasn't paying attention when I bought and did not see that he didn't accept PayPal. So later on he wanted to go through either a bank transfer or PayPal outside of eBay, which I wasn't willing to do because I would lose the buyer protection, and I requested him to cancel the order, and he kindly did so. So my only option is to go with a Casio Throne, which is a bit cheaper. So it will be a nice addition to my Casio Throne collection if I manage to fix it. So let's buy this one, and we'll just see what we have when it gets here. Next time I see you, we'll be picking up the package. So this is what I get 3 weeks later. Now, yes, it's not the prettiest watch, nor the condition is too good for what I paid for it, but look at the back. But it does make a very good candidate for this video, which is what the purpose of the watch is. So what are we going to do? We're going to attempt and fix the missing segments on the LCD, and first we're going to diagnose that, and I'm going to show you, regardless of if I manage to fix it very easily. So regardless if it's an easy fix or not, I'm still going to show you what are the steps to diagnose missing segment LCD. So we are going to see how we can tell if it's the board or the display, and we are going to use an oscilloscope, so it will be an interesting video. So there we have the battery, and hopefully I have a suitable replacement. So here's the watch with the battery inserted, and there is a bit of fading as well on the LCD, so maybe we'll change some capacitors, but the fading is coming and going. Okay, so first step is to strip down the watch and see if it has any corrosion on the board that would impair any signal to go to the LCD. All right, so we can definitely see that in this area right here, we do have some corrosion, which may be the source of the digits on the LCD not showing up. And we do see here on the LCD that we have this black residue, which may also be one of the reasons this watch isn't showing all the segments. So we're going to clean that up first and reassemble it back together and see if that fixes. But again, I am going to show you the other methods of diagnosing a bad LCD, even if this is an easy fix. Okay, so as you can see, indeed, there are some deposits on those pads, and you can clearly see it. I'm counting 1, 2, maybe 3 pads at least that aren't sending proper signals to the LCD. The other ones seem to look in good condition. There is no reason to suspect anything else. So what we'll do is clean that area with some alcohol. And what I like to do is always check under the microscope if it needs thorough cleaning. You can do that with a fiberglass brush, or you can do it with a toothpick and just scrub it with that, and of course being careful. So here is the board cleaned up, and you can see there is quite a significant difference. We don't have that corrosion anymore on those pads, and I went ahead and did some thorough cleaning on the rest of the board. So now what we'll do is get a good clean on those zebra strips as well, and you can see why we need that clean, because we do have some corrosion there, because it's probably what was on the pads. It has transferred to the zebra strips, and we have there some corrosion that we're going to clean up. So one thing I noticed when cleaning, trying to remove the zebra strip, is that on the top side or the bottom side, on one of the sides, it's a little bit shorter. So that might be one of the culprits, but it's a small chance that somebody, or in production, they put in a smaller one. These seem to be the original ones, so I'm not betting on this issue. I'm still going to check if it works only with cleaning the zebra strips. But yeah, just so we know that that is there. Inspection is really important. Okay, so moment of truth. Let's put in our oversized battery. And yes! Yes, and the faintness on the LCD has subsided. I'm not sure how we're supposed to set this, but that was an easy peasy fix. Now, indeed, you do need a bit of luck to end up with a watch that's such an easy fix on the LCD. But I'm going to show you right now how to diagnose if it's the LCD or the board using an oscilloscope. So before we start, I'm going to summarize what we are going to do. And if you've opened LCD watches before, you know if you put them in a certain light like this, you can see that there are some almost vein-like features going from each segment to the edge of the LCD. On some models they're visible, on some they're harder to be seen, but those edges of the LCD go in contact with the strip, with the pads on the board, and yes, with the strip, and that's how they get essentially lit up or not. What we want to do with the oscilloscope is test what we have on those pads, and you will see a proper signal going, which signifies correct working module. But one of the big hurdles we have to cross is that we have to have the module powered, and we still have to have access to the strips. Now, if you remove a module from the watch, then you have to construct some sort of jig to make sure you get the plus and minus to the board. And if you have a more complex board like this one, then you would have to make sure multiple points get the necessary voltage from the battery. But on this one we're lucky because we can just remove these LCD retainers. And there is one screw missing here. So somebody else has been here before, but it doesn't matter. So we'll remove these, and I will show you with an oscilloscope the exact waveform you have to have when the board is functioning properly. And there we have easy access to all the pins and pads. Okay, so here is the scope, and what we want to see is a square waveform if one of the LCD channels is outputting correctly. So I'm going to use this part, let's say the minus part of the probe, touching the battery. I have a slightly larger battery that I can touch from the side. And with this, we're going to check one of the pins. Now, yes, it's important that that pin is activated, so it might take some trial and error until we have a pin that is actually being activated at that point. So, and there we have it. Now, that's a pin that's active right now, and you can see we have to have a square waveform if that channel is outputting correctly. So that's how you use an oscilloscope to detect if there is any proper signal coming through those. I don't think you can use a multimeter because it doesn't have the function to detect that type of voltage. Best way to go is with an oscilloscope. And yeah, if you have a watch like this, you just have to check all channels, or you would have to look at the LCD display in just the right angle until you see those veins, and identify which vanes goes to which pad on the LCD, and then you identify to the board and check if there is any signal coming through there. If there is a signal and the digit is missing, then you have a faulty LCD. If there is no signal coming through and you have that pad not corroded up until the brains of the watch, then you have a faulty IC. So before we go, I do want to tell you that there are other common faults that lead to not having correct segments or all the segments lit up, and one of those is that the mechanical assembly of the watch is wrong. So somebody else has opened it before you and they didn't align things properly. So you have many components when it comes to the LCD. You have like this watch has the reflective panel, then it has on top of that this film that's supposed to diffuse the light, the micro light, and if these are not seated properly, they might get in the way of the zebra strips coming in contact with that. So always check that those are aligned properly. You can do that under a microscope. Just peek and see from the sides if everything goes correctly. So there is not much more to say than thanks for watching, and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Do subscribe to the channel. I try to release as often as I can videos like this or reviews and other videos related to digital watches. So I'll see you on the next one. Bye.